Being a great leader is something all great men should strive to be. Your ability to lead and influence others not only says a lot about you as a man, but it also determines much of your success and the success of your team. So today I want to talk about why leadership is so important, where you can expect to be called upon as a leader in your life, and some of the characteristics that the greatest leaders of all time have in common. Let's face it, we've all had examples in our life of leaders that have been less than stellar examples. And on the flip side of that, we've had leaders in our lives who have been great examples of what it means to influence and lead others. It's so important that you are a leader. No one person ever got anything done alone, and it takes a team to accomplish anything in life, whether it's with your family or in your business or your career or your community. And that's why it's so important that you learn how to be a leader. At some point in your life, you will be called upon to lead others, to help them get to a point where they need to be, and to accomplish something that they would not have thought they would have been able to do on their own. All right, so let's break it down where you might, as a man, be called upon as a leader. And these aren't in particular order, but all of them are equally as important. The first one that I can think of is you might be called upon a leader is in your home. You might be a husband, you might be a father, and there might be a wife or there might be children looking to you as an example and leading that family to where it needs to go. You need to be the visionary. You need to be the man that puts them on the path for success. You need to be able to raise kids in 18 years, and looking at my kids who are 7, 4, and 2 years old, 18 years isn't a lot of time, but if we can learn to be a leader, if we can develop the skills necessary, then those children that we have a stronger likelihood of being successful. Our marriages have a stronger likelihood of being successful if we can be leaders in our family. The other area that I can think of where you'll need to be a great leader is inside of your community. And it might be a politician, or it might be as simple as coaching your son's football or basketball team. Being a great leader and helping the kids in your area, helping the community, helping your neighborhood is so critical. You need to learn how to help in your community. People are relying upon you. Now, the next area that I can think about where you might be a leader is inside of your business. Now, whether you're an employee or you run the organization or it's just you or you have a large organization, it's so important that you lead. You need to be a leader for your employees. You need to be a leader for your coworkers. You need to be a leader for your clients. I look at my financial advisory practice, and it's me as the owner of the business, but my clients are asking that I lead them. They're asking me to take them from point A to point B, and my ability to lead and guide and direct them successfully is going to determine their ability to retire and their way of life. And so that's where it's going to be important that you understand how to lead and direct people inside of your business. You might also be called upon as a spiritual leader, a leader inside of your church. And your job at that point is to help people who have really been struggling. It could be a financial issue, it could be a spiritual issue, it could be a relationship issue, to get them again from point A to point B. Now, we all know somebody who's going through hard times. We may have had hard times in our life. We may be experiencing hard times right now. But if you're leading in a spiritual capacity, you've got to get them from point A to point B. You've got to help them navigate the hard times in life, the difficult things, the struggles that we go through. You might also be called upon as a leader with your friends. Now, I know that sounds funny because we think of our friends as peers, but there's going to come a point in time where another man is going to call you that you know that needs some help. He needs guidance in a relationship issue. He needs guidance with some financial issues. Maybe he needs help building something around the house. And your ability to lead and guide and direct and know what you're talking about is so critical when that friend gets on the phone and calls you for help. Now, I do also want to talk about some of the key characteristics that I believe all great men throughout all of time have in common. The very first attribute that I can think of that all great leaders share is that of conviction, a strong why, a strong purpose as to why they're leading and what they're leading in the first place. If you're leading your family and you want to be a better father or you want to be a better husband, you've got to have a conviction that leading and having a family and living a family life is important. If you want to be a great leader in your business, you've got to have a conviction as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as an employee, that what you're selling or what you're offering is of value to people. It's so critical. You cannot be in this fake it till you make it situation when it comes to conviction. People will see right through that and they will not follow you. All right, another attribute that I think all great leaders have is that of vision. Great leaders always know the long-term play. They always have the long-term vision. They always have those goals set out. Because if you have any hope of accomplishing success as a leader in any area of your life, you've got to know what the end result is. What is the end game? Now, not only do great leaders have great vision, but they also can articulate very well to their team what that vision is. People are going to doubt you, and there's going to be hesitancy, and there's going to be trials that come up as you're leading. Without the vision and the ability to communicate that vision effectively to other people, they just won't follow you. The very next attribute that all great leaders have is that they serve first. They are not thinking primarily about what's in it for them, but they're primarily thinking about what's in it for my team. What's in it for the people who are following me and the people that I'm trying to lead. Without that attitude, I think a lot of people will see right through that, and you've got to be able to come with the spirit of service, a servant leader. So always be thinking about how you can serve the people who are looking to you for leadership, the people who are looking to you for guidance in direction in their life, so you can navigate and you can get them to where they hope to be. Now, another attribute that I see in all great leaders is their ability to take action. I have never met a leader or come across a true leader, someone that I would be willing to follow without them having an ability to take action. They've also got to lead by example. They've got to set the path. They cannot sit by in their corner office with their door closed, inaccessible to their team. They've got to be accessible. They've got to get in the trenches with their people so that they can have any hope of leading them to where they want to be. Great leaders also have a sense of humility. Great leaders understand that they don't have it figured out. I've run across a lot of people who would be so-called leaders, except for that they are not humble. They're too prideful and too arrogant to believe that other people might have an advantage, might have a viewpoint, or might have a skill set that would actually help the team as a whole. So if you want to have success as a leader, you've got to be humble. You've got to look at your team and you've got to find out who has characteristics or who has traits or who has skills that will help your team as a whole succeed. Great leaders are humble leaders. Leaders also have the great ability to influence. Now, some people might look at that word influence and think that it's about manipulation or getting people to do something they don't want to do. And that's the furthest thing from the truth. Influence is all about when somebody looks at you and says, I'm willing to follow that guy because he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. So in order to be a successful leader, you've got to build up the skill set of influence. And the way you do that is by being proficient in that area that you're leading. Work on proficiency, and therefore you will automatically build influence with your team or those you're trying to lead. Now, the last attribute that I want to share with you that I see in all great leaders is that of innovation. Whether you're leading in your family or your business or your faith or your community, there's going to come a point in time where you're going to run across an obstacle or a roadblock or a stumbling block, something that you need to overcome as a team. Your ability to innovate, to adapt in that moment is going to spell the difference between success and failure. Are you an innovator? Can you look at things creatively? Can you be humble enough to ask your team if they have any new suggestions and ideas? Because at the end of the day, it's not about you and you being a leader, it's about getting the job done, and that's what all great leaders do. Now, whether you're an aspiring leader or you're already in a leadership position, I hope that helps today. We talked about why leadership is so important. We talked about what areas, what capacities of life you might as a man be called upon as a leader, and we also talked about a few of the characteristics, not all of them, but a few of the characteristics that I see in all great leaders. Now, another thing that all great leaders have in common is the ability to rally people around a cause, and that's what I want to talk about today. We have the opportunity to help each other out as men, and the way we're going to do that is share any insights or strategies or ideas or comments. So if you have any insights into how to become a better leader, where you might serve, and some of the attributes that all great leaders have, please leave a comment below. Let us know. Help us out. We want to build as a community. I also ask that you subscribe to the Order of Man YouTube channel so you never miss an episode in what we're talking about. Guys, I hope that helps. Until next time, take action and become the man you were meant to be.